you what, that is faster than it used to be. All right, let's try this one. See what we get. Just waiting. All right, we've got a good connection there. Waiting to, you know what, why does, oh, I know why. This restart playback when source becomes active. Yeah, but why isn't it, it's not playing the actual, that's strange. Why does it not play the be right back thing? It's strange, because it should, and yet it's not animating. The background's not animating. Hold on, is that not animated? Oh, let me kick the other one into gear. Here we go. This one's good. Let's wait for that to come up. Here we go. Okay, well, you know what? Waiting to see the image. There it is. Okay, so these do work. All right, so I can now press the button on this. And these should now work. There it is, live. Activate, and I see it. Okay. And let's say select. Make sure I see something. There it is. Activate. Okay. All right, these are both working. Live chat is up. Live chat is up. Okay, now let me... Okay, now wait a minute, because they moved the button. They've moved the button on this. It says service active. Now, does that mean it's already active? Let's find out, shall we? It can't be, because that doesn't look right at all, so I have to still select it. Which, yeah, see, it's not there yet. Okay, that's fine. So I click this button. That should now... I heard the beep. Okay, that's a good sign. Discard the changes, because there weren't any. And now I assume... I don't know what item 1 is. No, that's just the icon. It's not that. It's got to be either the dashboard. I'll bet you that's it. Let's find out. Here we go. Test 1. Aha! Okay, let's do test 2. Yeah, but they're both... see? There's the trick. They're replicating. I knew that was going to happen. It's not selecting the correct... It's weird. Because it sure looks like it's the right one. And yet it's not. How about this one? Test 3. All right, there's Twitch. So the odd part is the main show, but you know what, honestly, I don't think it matters. Okay. All right. No, it's okay. The volume should now be good because I've adjusted that. I see that the volume meter is a lot lower because I didn't realize in the last stream. I mean, honestly, this is all working. So this is better. I've somewhat figured out what the problem is, so let's just try this. Streaming. What is this? Oh, great. Thanks. I don't care about advancing the level whatever in the Discord Meeb thing. I don't even know what that does. All right, so now the real question is, do I go with Reflector or do I just stick with... I think I'm just going to stick with Let's View. I think I kind of got to. Because Reflector will crash. I just know it will. Did I already select this? I did. Okay, 617. No, that's right. Okay, so I can now close Discord. I should be able to hear chats that come in. I should get my alert. Right, it's just me right now. Okay. I just have to get used to OBS again, which is fine. It's just a matter of getting used to it. Let's see. Did I get... Oh, that's a good question. Did I get emails from both channels? Yeah? Yeah. Whoa, oh! Hello, Ray Does Things. Happy Monday. Well, that's a good sign. My chat's working. Oh, I don't know if the timer will... Actually, you're a good test. I thought I set the expiration to be 5 minutes, but I don't know if it actually took. Well, welcome to the stream. Oh, and now the... Okay, that's strange. It suddenly just kicked in. Okay. Yeah, your thing disappeared really quickly, though. I thought it was supposed to be longer than that. Hold on. Where is... There's a place where it will tell me... Sorry, I've just switched back to using OBS, and one of the things I wanted to make sure was that messages stayed up a little longer. Visibility, here it is. Well, that doesn't have the time, though. Where is the timer? Because your message disappeared really, really fast. Can you hear me okay? That's actually a really good question. Yeah, it did not save... It did not save my setting. Hold on, so that should be 600,000. There we go. Let me re-enable this, by the way. So let me click that again. All right, that was me. So let's see here. Bear with me a minute. Whoa. Did it just crash entirely? I think it just crashed. Oh boy, yeah. I think that thing just crashed hard. Boy, hold on. Yeah, because I heard the beep, but I can't see anything. Why can't I see anything? Where did it go? That's odd. Hold on. Test 4. Yeah, it's got the wrong thing selected. Okay, give me a second. Hold on. I think because I refreshed it, I have to do this and say okay. All right, now I can see the messages again, it looks like. So if you can tell me if you can hear me. Don't do auto activate. Let me activate. Let's see. Let me do a refresh on this. Let me say refresh. Let's see. Reload all streams. There we go. Yeah, weirdly, I don't know why those are grayed out now. That's odd. What happens if I say stop? And now select. Now, see, it doesn't stop all, reload. Activate. Weird. Yeah, that seems to have broken it now. I can see the Twitch chat. I can't see the... Well, you know what? Hold on. Let me just close this entirely and restart it. Open. Sometimes that's what you have to do. All right, let me try this now. Select. No new streams. Yeah, no new streams, but where are the existing streams? Already, oh, it says already added. Okay. It's claiming it's already there, so let me do this. Okay, there's default dock. Okay. Well, we'll try it again. I don't know why this thing has such a problem. All right. That should be showing stuff. All right, well, let me get my stuff up here because I'm going to spend this whole time. It apparently is working. I don't know what happened, Ray Does Things. I saw your thing, and then everything went haywire, and I really don't know why. So I don't know if you can still hear me. If you typed something, I don't think I saw it. I really don't know why, but I'm going to get going here. This is the one part of this thing that's still a headache, which is getting the chat stuff to work since I went back to OBS. I really, really have no idea why. It shouldn't be, but it is. So let's see here. We need to do... Oh, I have to start Let's View up. Give me a minute. I'm working on it right now. So Let's View is right here. Okay. And start. And I'm just waiting. Here it is. Excellent. So let's get back to the actual windows. Here we go. Okay. And let me open. Save, sure. And go to Let's View is right here. There it is. All right, let's get going here. Wasted enough time on this stuff. So hopefully in a second, you will actually see my screen. Let's find out. There we go. Excellent. It's working. Okay. The only part that's not working is the chat thing. I really don't understand that. I really don't. Yeah, I don't know why it's... I don't know why that's like that, but let me just make sure. Always on top. There we go. That'll keep it where it needs to be. Okay. Well, like I said, I can't really do much about that. It was working, and then it suddenly just... The windows just vanished, and I really couldn't tell you why. I'm just looking, bring all to front. No, they're not there. Oh, wait, no, sorry, I'm in the wrong thing. If I go to social stream, show all windows. Yeah, that's really bizarre. I don't know why. Let me do a really quick force reload on that. Even though I don't think that's the problem. I really don't. We just want to do one more test, and then I'm just going to get going here. Yeah, because I can see that. So obviously the visibility is working. But, yeah, I'm not sure. Sorry. I don't know what's going on with that. Because there's no dock for that, right? There isn't a dock for... No. I mean, the chat is just the one chat. It really is a shame. I'm going to look at and see if OBS has multi-chat dock type stuff. They obviously do for streams, and that does seem to be working, as far as I can tell. Let me do a quick double check of that. But I'm pretty sure that's working, because I got the emails. But I don't know why the chat just up and vanished on me. Let's see. Oh, I'm in the wrong window. Sorry. Just checking. Let me just open up my YouTube thing here really quick and see if I see... Yeah, here it is. I see it. Yeah, one person watching. So, okay, so it's working. All right. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me recheck that. Let me just make sure you're actually seeing... Okay, no, it's there. It wasn't... Oh, yeah, there... Oh, okay. Yeah, Ray, so I can see you in my YouTube app. Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. It's not you. It's definitely something with the chat thing. I can see it on my phone. I can see your chats on my phone. That's the irony. I can see them here. So I'm sorry. I don't know. I saw it, and then it went away, and I really don't know why. It was there a second ago, and it just up and vanished on me. Let me just try one more thing. On the off chance that I can actually fix this somehow. Let me grab this window. Oh, I forgot I told this to always be on top, so it's blocking the other window. Sorry, give me a second here. All right, here we go. There we are. All right, let's see. So if I take this and I'm going to try one more thing here. I'm going to go to the front thing here, and I'm going to tell it to stop. So it stopped all streams. Whoa, wait a minute. Why is there multiples of them, though? Oh, that's interesting. Hold on. That's fascinating. Huh. Oh, no, I didn't even do that. Stop. Select. Yeah, they're all grayed out. That's already added. Yeah, I got that part, but why... What I don't get, auto find and activate, no new streams found. Yeah, see, that's the odd part, is I don't know why it doesn't, I don't know why it doesn't show the thing. Because, I mean, it can see it right there, and yet, whoa. Hold on. Wow, this makes no sense. That's astonishing. Huh. Default dock. Yeah, and yet nothing shows up. So let me try this. Let me say quit. And let me make sure that it actually quits, because I think maybe it's running in the background. Hold on a minute. This is interesting. Okay, now it does appear to be closed. All right, so if it's closed, and I click this, let me see here. Okay. Ooh. All right, there it is. Let me move this over. All right, so connection status. Okay, disconnected. So if I say sources and I say select, already started, already added, activate. Yeah, that's the weird part, is it doesn't activate source. Activate source. Oh, wait, there it is. I got it. I figured it out. I can see you now. No, I can see it. So wait a second, I figured it out. Yes, I got it. Okay, I can see it now. So there was a button I didn't see. So I've got it. Live chats are up. I can see both windows. Now I know what I have to hit. Okay. Now let me make sure that it's going to show up on the screen. So I'll click that. I heard the beep. Let me go. Let me do a test. Testing. All right, so I just have to select the window isn't selected. So let me find it. Oh, yeah, I see it. I see it. Went away. There it is. Got it. Okay, we're done. We're good. We're good. All right. Okay, I'm going to start drawing now. Okay, I should be able to see everything now, I think. So let me close this other window because that's just going to... Okay, it's already closed. Good. All right. No, we're good. I'm just leaving everything where it is now. I'm just leaving everything alone. Okay. So, anyhow, however many minutes in now, 15 minutes in. Oh, boy. Well, you know, what else is new? This is how it goes. So let's start actually drawing the hand now. You know, so I need to get a pen. I need to go thicker than that. So let's go to 10. No, yeah, 10's fine. All right, so let's... What do you work? Oh, okay. I'm glad. Okay, and I can see it on the screen. Yes, it's working. Finally. Okay, what I am doing... Oh, boy. All this effort. This is based on a book. I am reading a book for a book club that I'm in, an online one. Hold on, sorry. Let me just close YouTube so it's not sucking my bandwidth here. The book, I believe the title is How to Lose the Time War. I'm going to get you the exact title, so hold on a minute. This is How You Lose the Time War is the name of the book, written by Amal El Motar and Max Gladstone, if I'm pronouncing those names correctly. And the book is basically a series of letters that these two time travelers are leaving each other as they kind of do like Cold War spy stuff against each other across time. So, for example, one will show up and they will be in a logging camp and they'll realize that the other agent has buried a message inside the rings of a tree, the tree trunk, and they'll read a message. And they're kind of just like joking with each other back and forth. But I think in like the second chapter, one of the time agents is in a world that is technology based in terms of its religion. And she says that she's wearing old typewriter keycaps on her fingertips and that she has these metal bands winding around her arm. Where are they? There, those. That are made of different precious metals that are inside computers. And I just got this image of this, like a hand with the key, the typewriter keys on the end, and then these metal bands that are kind of wrapping around, and I just had to draw it. I drew it in the same morning. After I read it, I went and I drew it, this basic sketch, really quickly. But it's exactly what I want. So, yeah, it's a really interesting book. I didn't know anything about it. I'd heard the title, but I'd never read it. And I'm really enjoying it, to be honest. It's a fun book because it's different. It's not quite what you would think it... Whoa, what did I do there? Did I group the... Oh, I did not mean to group those. I meant to group this. There we go. And then that... What is this? What is this? Oh, it's the metal on the bands. Okay, got it. So actually, that should be up here. Let me put that right there. There we go. Turn it off. Okay. Sure. No, I'm just happy I can see your messages. Honestly, I'm really thrilled it's working now. Okay. Onward we go. I'm finally going to actually draw something. All right. Okay. You know what? Maybe I will go a little thicker on this pen. Yeah, I'll go to 15. Whoop, on a hidden layer. Need to be on the correct layer. It's this one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yes. Actually, do I want that like that? Let's see. Yes, I think I do. All right, so let's do this. Let me turn the rings off so that I can see my original lines. Well, you know what? Shouldn't start there. I should start back here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to draw, even though I know you're not going to see all of the finger here. it's actually going to be behind that keycap, I still want to have it there. And kind of like I do on all my other stuff, I'm going to draw this in sort of pieces. Actually, wait a minute. I should turn off. Hold on a second. Bear with me. Not that. Where is that? There. Turn that off. These are the bare kind of essential lines. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw these. Do I want to... I'm thinking what I want to do here. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. I'm kind of brainstorming what do I want to use the pen with the tapered edge for these? Let me look. You know, like that. Yeah, I think I do. I think I do. So, hi cutie. I'm talking to my dog. Wow, these are really thick. So I guess I should leave this brush should be at 5 to be that. Wow, okay. So let me reverse all this, because now I've made a decision that I want to do something different. Because, you know, that's how it has to be. It can't ever be easy. So yeah, that's actually a good idea, though. It is the right decision now that I look at it. It is the correct decision. Okay. Let's see. Back I was getting a... Oh, God. Yeah, well, that's definitely a higher priority. Get the wasp out. Yeesh. I do not enjoy the presence of wasps. I have no problem with bumblebees, but I don't like wasps and hornets. I will actively go on the warpath against. I do not enjoy them at all. Really don't. I know they're part of nature, and that's fine, but I don't like them hanging around where I am. That's for sure. Just do not like them. So yes, if you have to get a wasp out of your room, that should be a much more important thing than listening to me rambling about what pens I'm going to use. That one doesn't matter as much because there's no real taper to that. I hate anything that can sting or bite me. Bugs, snakes, whatever. I hate them. Yeah, I mean, I don't like anything that can bite me. So I'm with you there. Hey, Bill K. Wow. Man, stuff's working. I'm shocked. Welcome, Bill. Yeah, I don't, you know, I don't mind something being able to bite me. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna hate it, because a lot of things that can bite you don't actually want to bite you. They just can, but they're not actively after you. But there are some things, like, say, black widows, which are around here, that I have less of a tolerance for. I'll admit, actively kill one if I see it, because I've never been bitten by a black widow, and I'd like to keep it that way. And while I don't expect that they're actually hostile towards me, as far as I can tell, I also don't want to allow them to have the presence around me. I'd rather just not... I'd rather not take a chance with a black widow. And I've seen some big black widows, let me tell you. Generally, spiders I'm fine with. You know, you guys have black widows over there? Yeah. Unfortunately, in California, they're not very common, but they're not uncommon. And I've seen a couple of big ones. Fortunately, never inside the house. They've always been outside. But we have a dog, and she sometimes hangs out outside, so I don't take any chances with them. I really don't. I'm just getting a sip of something. Hold on. Sip of, what is this? This is an energy drink called Ghost. All natural, no calories. This is iced tea lemonade. It's quite good. Yeah, not my favorite flavor, but not bad. And it doesn't have a weird chemical aftertaste, which a lot of energy drinks do. But, yeah, like I said, the Black Widow thing, I've never seen one inside the house. So I don't want to make it out like, you know, we're surrounded by threatening monsters or anything. It's not like that. But at the same time, like I said, because of our dog, I don't mess around with it because, you know, she likes to lay on the grass and there could be one in there. And, if she were to get bit by it, then I would lose my mind. So I have to stay on top of that. Fortunately, we use a pest control service. Really nice guy, actually, who comes by once a month. And they have managed to, so far, all that stuff has been pretty much under control. So I can't really complain. We have not had a real issue. It's just that occasionally I'll see one, which I don't love. But like I said, it's not... Oh, wow, I don't think that looks right. Hold on, there we go. I'm not zoomed in enough to be able to see what I'm doing. So, I don't want to over-exaggerate it. We're not under constant threat or anything like that. But they are around. Luckily, okay, that doesn't look right either. We have not had any for a little while that I've seen anyway. So I'm very happy about that. Thus far. Have been lucky so far. My pest control is my brother and my younger nephews with baseball bats. They make a sport out of smacking bees and wasps out there. Hey, listen, if you can do it. I've never been quick enough to actually be able to manage that, but I have seen people do it. It's impressive. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, the reason that we really use a service is because, like I said, there's two main things that are my concern here. Why is that so? Hold on. Let me look at something. That's probably why I'm using the wrong pen. The main concern, or is it this pen? Hold on, I gotta find which pen I'm supposed to be using here. Sorry, I'm getting my pens mixed up. That's it. The main concerns here are, like I said, black widows, which we have seen some, but not a lot. Again, I don't want to make it out like, there's a ton of them. They're not falling out of the trees on us or anything. God, what a terrible idea that is. And there's what do they call them? Brown recluses, which are very dangerous. More dangerous than black widows is my understanding. Fortunately, I have never seen one of those. But they can show up. So they do specifically spray to keep those away. So like I said, it's not something we've ever encountered. But it's worth it to have somebody come by to make sure it's not something we ever encounter. But honestly, knock on wood or whatever, we've had fairly good luck with bugs as far as not really having any problems with any. It really hasn't. We had termites. Oh man, now it's probably 10 years ago. So we had to do the thing where they had to drill into the concrete, because we found some and they said, well, if you get on it now, then they won't cause a problem. So we did. It was not cheap, but termites are another one of those things. You got to, if you don't take care of that right away, you can get some big problems because they will eat the foundation of a house and they can just cause a lot of damage. So you kind of have to, it's like, well, you're going to spend a lot of money. Would you rather spend the money now before they do damage, or you want to spend it afterwards? We mainly have jumping spiders and daddy longlegs here. I've seen a black widow before, but that was when I was really little. None since then. Yeah, and daddy longlegs don't bother me at all. When I see them inside, I will literally pick those up by their legs and put them outside. Those we get inside. They don't bother me because they're really slow and they don't do anything to you. I assume they probably could, in theory, bite you, but I've never heard of anybody being bit by a daddy longleg, so I don't care about those. Those don't bother me. They're rather harmless as far as spiders go. That's the one I'd want around, is if I had to have a spider hang around, it would be a daddy longlegs. That would be fine with me. Because they seem pretty harmless from what in my life, I've never had a problem with one. So, am I on the right layer? Just make sure. Yeah, I am. So, like I said, yeah, I'm not a big fan of spiders, but at the same time, I don't worry about the ones that I don't need to worry about. And I think for me, the daddy longlegs would fall into that category. They seem relatively harmless. A little weird looking, I'll admit. They are funny looking, but they don't seem to be interested in causing any harm, so I'm okay with them. But we don't see too many of those either, to be honest. We don't really even see them many. By the way, just as a question, is the background music at a good level? Because I know it was way too loud when I first started the stream back up on OBS, but I think I've got that fixed now. So I just wanted to do a quick check and make sure that you can actually hear the music and it's not at a loud level. Why do I hear? Hold on. I think I'm just hearing like background noise on the speaker. Nothing for you to worry about. I don't think you're hearing it. Let's see. Yeah, jumping spiders. I've seen jumping spiders. I think they're around, but we don't really see them very often. They seem to be very afraid of everything. So they tend to avoid us in general. As far as I can tell, I've seen them, but I mean, whenever I've gotten not even what I would consider close to one, they take right off. So I don't think they have any interest in being near people whatsoever. Final man. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I figured it was because I was kind of testing it myself, but I never want to just go by my own tests because, you know, stuff can sound fine to you and then you find out, oh no, it's way off. But that's good. Thank you. I figured it probably was, but never hurts to check and verify these things. I'm gonna take this. Let's do that. There we go. And then I'm gonna do this on this one, and we'll go like this. Oh wait, that's intersecting, isn't it? Yes, it is. No, gotta do another layer for that then. I don't want any intersecting levels so that I can clean this stuff up. Whoop. There we go. Okay, I gotta figure. That's the one thing about that taper. Oh no, I know why. I know why it's doing that. Never mind. I just solved my own problem. Okay, good. Let's take this and let's grab a taper pen. Taper pen, please. Taper pen, and let's do that. There we go. All right, now I need the taper pen that tapers on both ends. Yes, that's it. Ow. I made a fist like, yeah, I found the right pen. And as I did, I cut my finger with my thumbnail. I'm fine. It's just like, of course I did. All right. So, all right, I got, this is the tricky bit. It's getting this to get this the right way. Okay, that's not bad. I'm okay with that. Wish I had a better sense of the way the thickness worked on these pens. Which is fine, but it's just, it's so tricky to get this right. Or how I want it to be, I guess I should say. But I got it. It's fine. Okay, yeah, that's all right. See, I want it to taper on both ends. Which that didn't at all. Ugh, why isn't it tapering on the end? There we go. Okay. I'm generally fine with those day-long legs as long as they don't get on me. I will freak out if a jumping spider gets on me. I will brush them off or put them outside if it's in my side. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. If a jumping spider jumps on me, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I'm all macho and I won't go. I'll be a little freaked out by it. But like I said, we've been really lucky. I haven't seen any jumping spiders inside the house at all. So I think they've generally just stayed outside. And that's probably because the guy comes and he does the spraying, to kind of discourage them from coming in. That's why I say I think it's worth it, because I think what he's doing is working. As far as I can tell, it is. Whoa, boy. Why is that so... Hold on a minute. Did I switch to a different... No, that's the same pen. I guess because I'm up close, it's just... Yeah, that's better. Okay, there we go. Yeah, and then it does it really small like that. See, that's the tricky bit, is trying to get the pressure on this thing right. Nope, that's not right. That's better. That's better. Okay, we're getting there. Oh, you know what? Actually, hold on. Before I go too far with this, I should clean these lines up. Let me clean this stuff up so that you can... I gotta tell you, I'm really, really happy with how this is going so far. Like, this feels like it came together for me really fast, which is not typical for me. Normally, the getting to this point takes a while, but this one just really worked. Maybe it's because I had a really clear image in my head for this one. That's possible. Let me turn the pencil lines off for a minute just so I can see this clean. There we are. Oh, what did I... Oh, no, this is a different layer. There we go. I thought I crossed the streams. I didn't. I'm good. That's gonna... This comes out of here. But, yeah, I feel like I got really lucky with this one. They do get inside occasionally here, but that's because they leave the door and windows open when it's nice outside. Also, I have a cat who will bring anything she can find inside. Ah, yeah, well, cats. I've never had a cat. I've known a lot of people who've had them. I don't have any problem with them. But I'm more of a dog person. That's just me personally. But yes, I do admire how cats operate. That they just seem to be able to run... They not run. They really do operate as these kind of independent beings, which is interesting because dogs are so opposite to that, at least in my experience. All the dogs I've ever had and known are very, you know, they want to be with you. They want to be where you are. They feel like they're partially attached to you. And I think for some people that's too much. And that's why they prefer cats that are more independent and kind of operate in their own realm, if that's the right phrasing for it, which I find interesting. I like, you know, that dogs are, I guess you would call them clingy. That actually is appealing to me. All right, let's see. Actually, no, I should have left that transparency. There we go. But as I say, that's not me saying I don't like cats or anything like that. Some people get very, dogs or cats. I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I'm not that. You get whatever pet suits what you want it to be. So if you like the more, because like I said, I know people who don't like how attached dogs get, and some of them do. Our current dog, she is not as affectionate as our first dog was. So it is different. If you met my cat, you'd think she was a dog. I guess she was just raised around my 3 dogs, but she's something else. Yeah, you know what? My father's dog, cat. My father's cat was like that. He could actually treat that cat like a dog. It was very strange. Only cat that I've ever personally known that was like that. So yeah, it's not a universal rule. And cats, like anything else, have their own personalities. So my co-host, his cats, all are really, really different. Even though they're all in the same household and pretty much grew up the same, they all operate really differently. And I don't know if that's typical when cats are in a mixed environment. I really don't. I don't know enough about cats to say that. I kind of wonder if it is a thing where if the cats are all together, they have to sort of form separate personalities to be distinct. I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, like I said, any pet. I know somebody who has who's always had small, like, rodents, mice, rats, gerbils, and doesn't want anything bigger than that. Just wants something very small. I know people who have reptiles and snakes. So it's just what you want around you as another being to live with. I'm just getting I'm finishing off this iced tea lemonade. Hold on. Not bad. Not bad, really. I mean, not something I would probably buy. My wife gets me these so I can try them. I mean, she has yet to get me a really bad one. Honestly, the biggest problem with a lot of them is they have that kind of chemical aftertaste, but she's done really well, luck-wise. Hasn't had one like that in quite a while. And that one's good. That's what they call an Arnold Palmer. Half lemonade, half iced tea. Good. But, yeah, I mean, I was never the biggest fan of that drink no matter what. So would I ever buy that on my own? Probably not, but if somebody handed me one, I would drink it. It's not a bad flavor. It's an interesting one. I can see why a lot of people like it. I did cross over on that one. That's okay, I'll fix it. I'll just fix it in post, meaning right now. There we go. Okay. I think I can bring that up all the way now. Where's that one? There it is. Let's go ahead and do that. Actually, you know what? Let's drop this opacity down so I can see where this is. Any of these crossing? Any of these crossing that I need to fix? Nope, looks like that was the only thing. Let's see. I've never tried that combo before. Yeah, it's, I always heard about it. I don't think I tried it until, geez, I don't even know how old I was when I tried it, but I remember hearing about an Arnold Palmer, the golfer. I assume the golfer, maybe it was a drink he really liked or something. But I always heard about it, never really tried it. Not because I thought it was going to be disgusting or anything. I just think I just never had the opportunity to try it. But like I said, I know Arizona iced tea, I think, has... They make one of those that you can buy. But I try not to drink Arizona iced tea anymore because it's so sugary. And that's the thing I'm kind of trying to avoid now is a lot of sugar. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like sugar. That's my problem, is I like sugar. So, but Arizona iced tea has a lot of sugar in it. It does. Okay, so good. We got the hand basically there. Where, oh, that's the other thing. Where is, that's lines. All right, let's do these. So what layer can I use? I'll use this one. This is fine. Let's do these lines really quick. There we go. I don't like the beginning of that. See, I don't like how, better. Almost had it. Almost. Not quite. Almost. Nope, too angled. I can live with that. Okay. Too small. Yeah, okay, that's good. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I don't actually know if that's a real line. See, I don't know if these are real lines. Hold on. Oh, I did these. I did these already. I thought I did. I sort of remember doing these. Yeah, I did. Jeez. I turned the layer off so I didn't see it. All right, here we go. This is what I need. Which can be this layer right here. All right. Okay. I thought I had done some of these already. Nope. Yeah, I don't like the little hook there. Nope, too thin. Too thin, and the hook. Okay, I'm okay with that. See, the trick is, see that the front doesn't... See, it just blobs. Where it should be... I don't know why it doesn't... Well, hold on, let me bump this up to 10. Alright, okay. I'm alright with that. At least I can go... At least I can get the... Yeah, okay, I've got it now. That's fine. There's this brand of lemonade, I forgot the name, but they have a mango and a raspberry lemonade I used to be obsessed with in high school. Now I generally drink water unless I'm feeling... Yeah, I mean, that's kind of... That is one thing I'm trying to do better at, is I'm trying to default to water more than something else. I'm not the best at it, but I'm working at it. I'm trying. Because that's actually very good. To default to water is what I should be doing. I will not pretend that I always do it, though. I'm trying. Not always the best at it. Come on. There we go. Oh, good. That's a good one. All right, I'm okay with that. Okay. Yep, okay. Oh, I didn't see that line there before. Okay, that's fine. I can just do that. Yeah, because then I just got to erase this a little bit here. That doesn't need to be there. There we are. Okay. Come on. Yeah, too thick. It doesn't have that. I want that bend, though. All right, that's okay. That's good. That's good. Ooh, good. Okay. Hold on. There we go. All right, I'm getting lucky. These are generally going the way I want them to. I wish I could more consistently do it, though. I wish it wasn't something I was guessing at. Or hoping. No, I shouldn't say guessing at. That I'm hoping will work out the way I want. I wish I could figure out the trick to make it more consistently so I could repeat it more reliably. I'm just too lazy to buy... Well, there is that. I'm with you there. Like I said, my wife is, she always brings me home these things to try. And because they don't have sugar, I don't care. These are all kind of zero sugar energy drinks. So I'm always like, oh yeah, I'll try that, sure. Okay, yeah, no, let me turn the white layer back on so it's easier to see what I'm doing. There we go. I mean, I don't like to drink stuff that has a lot of weird chemicals in it, but you know, I've looked them up and they are all natural chemicals, so I'm not too concerned about it. I'm not going to be that paranoid about it. Because, you know, just because something's a chemical, I know now there's people who tell you anything that's a chemical, you shouldn't be. Everything's chemicals. I'm not that paranoid about it. I'm really not. So I'll try them. Like I said, the interesting part is how good they've got it at imitating flavors. Because she got me one the other day that was ring pop flavored. And I'll tell you what, it sure tasted like a ring pop to me. And I haven't had a ring pop in a long time, but as soon as I had it, I'm like, yeah, that's what I remember it tasting like. So it really is amazing how they can figure out flavors now. I mean, I know there's a whole industry around it. It's really fascinating if you ever look up how they determine flavors, that they actually burn foods. And then based on how the food burns, that's how they can determine the properties that give it the flavor that it's got. It's really interesting as far as how they do that stuff. Because that's never what I would have guessed they're doing to get flavor, is burning food. But that's what they do. All right, now these are the shadow lines. So let me just do a couple more. Where am I? I'm on here, right? Just do a couple more like this. Just because I like these lines. They look good to me. Yeah, this is coming out better than I thought it would. Let's do that. There, no, not like that. Hold on, look at my own arm. Well, I guess I don't really need that many. Yeah, see, something like that. Just a quick kind of, I need it bigger than that. Like just some accent lines to show the bend of the arm, where the muscle kind of tracks. Yeah, not like that though. Yeah, that's probably good. Okay. So now, hold on. Let's link up some of this stuff. Man, I remember ring pops. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, tell me about it. Yeah, I know. That's why I said, oh, wow. When she got it for me, I said, I don't think I've had a ring pop in over 20 years. And that's when they were popular. So, yes, I know what you mean. Yeah. It's funny when you think about stuff like that and you go, oh, wow, yeah, that was a long time ago. That's how long it's been since I've had a ring pop. But yes, I remember them being popular too. But actually, I'll tell you something that talk about aging and realizing how old you are. I wore a shirt that's a Trapper Keeper patterned shirt. I mean, it's officially licensed from Trapper Keeper. And I wore it to work. And there was a guy there who had no idea, like, actually, I shouldn't say a guy. There were a bunch of people there who had no idea what a Trapper Keeper was. And boy, that's one of those times where you go, wow, yeah, I am not young. I mean, you know it. You always know it in your head. You're like, okay, here's what age I am. But there are those moments where you're just, where it's really kind of thrown in your face that, oh yeah, I'm definitely not young. Yeah, nobody knows what a Trapper Keeper is. You know, that's okay. That's just the way that it goes. I'm sorry, I just saw something come up on my, what was that? Oh, look at that. Huh. Interesting. That's pretty neat. Anyway, okay, sorry. I was masking out the fingers for where the keycaps will go. I'm sure you figured that out. This is not the riddle of the Sphinx exactly. I'll tell you what, this Let's View thing is working though. It's not freezing up like Reflector did. So far, actually, I think Reflector actually opened, which is stupid because I'm not using it. So I'm going to go ahead and exit that because it's just using resources. Thank you. So I'm probably going to go ahead and pay for a year of this because it was relatively cheap. I think it was $40 for a year. And as long as it keeps working like this, it's a good price. So I will probably use it because so far it's been keeping up with everything. you know, I mean, there's a little bit, in OBS, I think I'm just going to stick with that instead of Streamlabs. It takes a little bit more to set it up, but once I've got it up and running, it works pretty well. So, okay. Yeah, look at that. That's not bad. That's getting where I want it to be. There's still a ways to go, but honestly, it's getting there. It's getting there. Yeah. Huh. Well, technically I am young, but like, dang, I see stuff from my childhood. It's now considered antique or knows anymore. Like, geez, I feel or offend me. Oh, no, I get it. I get it. No, that's... Well, the thing is, I've said this to people. I feel like the way the world is, we get older quicker now. So what used to be old and what used to be young, the lines moved backwards because everything changes so rapidly. And it's just the way it is. Not even really a complaint, or I'm not saying it's bad or good or whatever. It's just the way that it is. So yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. But it is strange to live in the world that we're in. You know what? I don't know what color. Huh. It just occurred to me. I don't know what skin color these characters are supposed to have. I don't even know if they have typical skin. Because sometimes they seem to have implants and stuff. So I guess I can just... Well, you know what? For now, I think I'm just going to give it a color. But I don't know if there's even a... I don't know if these creatures... I call them creatures. These beings, I believe they're supposed to be human. I don't even know if they have normal skin. I really don't. So I'm going to go ahead and give them a really weird skin tone for now, because why not? Just so that there is a skin tone in... Okay, well, I forgot the white layer is on, so I'm going to turn that off for a minute so we can see it. This is just placeholder. You know what? I don't like how that looks compared to the blue. So let me try shifting this to something a little bit more where the blue sticks out more. Well, actually, what I could probably just do is pull the saturation down. Let's go with something like that for now. Frankenstein skin for the moment. It's fine. Just because, like I said, I just want to be able to see it without the backdrop blending into it, or the background, I should say, the background color blending in. But yeah, age is a weird thing now. Because even like high school, for example, you know, being a senior in high school now has a different weight in terms of how much older they seem to be than, say, freshmen compared to when I was in high school. Where it really, you know, everybody was roughly... You didn't feel like you were that different of an age of people that were in the same school as you were. I mean, obviously, you knew you were older. There was a difference. There was a division. The seniors were, you know, not... They were older than freshmen, but not in some way where you almost felt like you were speaking a different language. You know what I mean? And that seems to be the difference, is now, even within high school, I feel like, you know, freshmen and seniors are using different, radically different words. Because it's all kind of accelerated. Again, I don't say that as, oh, I'm an old man complaining. It's not like when I was a kid, it was way better. I wouldn't say that. It was just different. And it just feels like we're all on accelerated timelines. Because I think with technology and how rapidly we get information and everything, it just changes the way... It obviously doesn't change age as far as the numbers. It's... If you were 10 years older than somebody when... Sorry, there's a hair on the screen. Being 10 years older than somebody is still being 10 years older than somebody. It doesn't matter to your doctor, let's put it that way. You haven't aged differently to a doctor. But in terms of how you relate to people socially, I feel like it's different. And what, you know, keeping up with things and... you know, knowing what's, I was about to say hip. That's not a word anybody uses anymore. What's trendy, what's not, what's popular, what's not. All of that changes so quickly. And, you know, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. It's interesting. At some point, somebody will study all this stuff. You know, about what I would call perceptive aging or perceptual aging, where you feel like you're older faster than you are, even though, of course, you're not. The big ages are still the same big ages. 10 is still 10, 20 is still 20, 30, 40, 50. These are all the same. All these ages are the same. They're not different. But they feel like they're different than they used to from people I've talked to. Which is, it's fascinating. At some point, like I said, somebody's going to study all that stuff. I don't know if they're going to find anything interesting. They might find that it's all in our heads. That wouldn't shock me exactly. Or they might find that it actually has some kind of tangible effect on the way your brain works. I remember there was a show I was watching where they were talking about how time, even though time is constant to us as human beings on Earth, they did this experiment where they had people and they dropped them from, like a bungee jump, but one of those carnival rides where they put the thing way up in the air and then they drop it. You know what I mean? One of those. There's a name for them, whatever it is, whatever that thing is. And they had clocks with these people, and they found that their brains perceived time differently during the drop. That their perception of time actually slightly slowed down. It was really interesting. Because they're like, no, a second is still a second, whether you're dropping from one of these rides or not. But in effect, it wasn't for the person being dropped. A second had changed. Really interesting. Really interesting. Because a lot of, so much of our lives, we don't think about it this way, but so much of our lives is very dependent on how we perceive the world. And so something might be an objective fact, but how you perceive that thing, in fact, changes how much of a quote-unquote fact it is to you. That's all interesting stuff to me. I'm not smart enough to be able to make sense of it, but I find it fascinating when others who are smarter take a look at that stuff and find weird things happening. Because so far they haven't found anything that really is scary. It's more of just interesting differences, interesting variations, probably a better word for it than differences, just variations on things that we think about and think of in very, very solid, concrete terms. Not quite as concrete as we think sometimes. So, well, I think we're just about at the end of this stream, which I will say, I think I finally maybe have the knack of how to do this and have it not be a complete train wreck now that I've gone back to OBS. So I say that, and the next time something won't work, but this stream has gone much better than I thought it might, because last time I just had no shortage of problems. But there we go. The hand is on its way. Yep. It's still in the starting points, but I gotta say, I like it. I do like it. All right, well, rather than what's the word for it? Rather than test my luck, let me do this. Hey, look, the background's moving now. And let me disconnect this. So if I say stop, there we go. That's actually pretty good. Well, thank you for hanging out. There's no way for me to know whether people are still here or not, so I'm just going to assume people are here. If you're not, that's okay. I don't expect people to stay the whole time, so that's okay if you left. If you're still here, thanks for hanging out. If you're watching this later, thanks for watching this later. I don't make a big deal of whether people are watching live or not. That's not important to me. It's just more important that people, have a good time whenever they watch this, however they watch this. So as I typically do, or I try to make sure I do, I will end this stream by saying that if there is a creator that has provided something that brings you some joy in life, a creator who makes something that you enjoy and that you like and that the person you follow, then, oh, thanks, Ray. Thank you very much. Have a good night. I'm assuming it's night where you are, but if not, day. And thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it, because I know I was kind of screwing around with stuff in the beginning and trying to get it all working, so I appreciate you hanging out. And everybody else, if there's a creator that you like, go find that person and give them some kind of boost. I'm not talking about me, and it doesn't have to be money. I know we jump to the idea that it has to be money. It doesn't have to be money, but there are lots of creators out there who struggle with any number of things, like we all do, but in particular with creators, it can often feel like, for some people, they make stuff and they don't get a lot of feedback, and it can be disheartening. They can start to think, well, nobody cares. Why am I doing this? Why am I creating this? Why am I even bothering? Nobody likes what I'm doing. Even if there are lots of people who like it, because typically a lot of people don't speak up. And I'm like that about a lot of things. You know, it's not like I jump up and say, wow, I really love your stuff to every single person I follow, but I've tried to do it more in the last like 4 or 5 years because I've really understood how much it means to people. So if there's a creator that's out there that you like, just send them a note. Send them a nice note or a message on whatever platform you're on saying, hey, I like your stuff. You know, if you can throw them a few dollars here or there, do that, but it doesn't have to be that. If you can share their work to somebody else so other people can see them, do that. That means a lot to them. If they have a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel or whatever, or something that you can subscribe to, or I assume subscribe is the word we use everywhere now, do that. If they have a show that you can review, take a couple minutes, write a couple of sentences, a short review. It doesn't have to be a novel. All these things will help people out. And if all it does, even if there's no money involved, it can give them the encouragement to keep doing what they're doing. Because it's tough. We all have that. I mean, I was struggling with it last week, let me tell you. And over the weekend, I tried to paint something and it went horribly wrong. And I'll tell you, it soured me for the first half of Saturday. I was just in a really bad mood because I could not paint this thing I wanted to paint. Just could not get it right. And that can, for some people, it can be more than half a day. They might be struggling with whatever they're trying to create. And just you stopping by and saying hello or saying I like this thing, or like I said, resharing their work or subscribing to what they're doing, you could make a huge difference to that person. And so it often doesn't cost anything to help somebody out. And if it doesn't, why not? If you can positively affect somebody else, you should try to do it. It's just kind of good advice for everybody. So go find a creator and tell them that you appreciate their work. It's going to mean a lot to them. It may not be obvious, but I'm telling you, it means a lot to them. And on that note, everybody, thanks for hanging out. Stream seems somewhat stable. I think I've actually got a handle on this more or less now, so that's good. And before it all goes into a cavern and destroys itself, I'm just going to go ahead and say thanks for being here. And until the next stream, like I said, go find a creator, go support them, say hi, tell them you appreciate their stuff. On that note, thanks for being here, and until next time, take care.